Hello everyone, Galacticstorm here, welcome to the show, and today I'm going to be showing off the two bots that I am going to enter for Bashbots. Now with all that being said and done, let's begin, shall we? So like I said earlier, these are the two bots that I am going to be using within Bashbots. So I've been using these bots for a long time and I have been trying to practice and study and, do as much as I can to make the robots perfect. So I don't have like 1500 robots compared to some of the others. I just have these two, a HS and a drum spinner. So we're going to start off with the HS. So the HS is Tenrai. Tenrai, to all those who don't know, it means Heavenly Thunder in Japanese. I found this during when I was looking through Ballistic NG, and one of the teams is named Tenrai, and plus I love thunderstorms, so I thought Tenrai would be the best choice for this robot's name, and yeah, it definitely works on that regard. So the first few models are on the left, and then the ones that I'm going to use within the competition, if I get in, would be on the right. So let's go within the very first model. So the first model wasn't made by me, it was made by Boost, the creator of the Clank series of robots in Bashbots Season 1 and 2, and Tranquilizer from Season 3 and 4. So he helped me a lot when it came to like the very first process of my robots. And Tenrai was basically, with this first model, was all made by him. I was making super heavyweight robots and I didn't know what to do and all that, so he showed me, he basically combined the two models that I had and made it into this one. So it is, this robot helped me make me a better person. I wouldn't say a better person, but a better roboteer, and it showed me like the ins and outs of most of the stuff as I progressed. So the first model, I did average, above average, below average. It's usually like a mixed bag, really. But I did get my first podium finishes within this first model. And yeah, it was such a treat. But, it also recommended me, and other people recommended me, do your own stuff instead of just going for this model. So I did as much as I could for this one before going for the second one. The second one, yeah, it was just absolutely terrible. Let's not really talk much about that. So let's go for the third model instead. The third model is, well, I would say it's one of the better parts of Tenrai. I got it from an idea from Toad, from one of his robots, and just mashed it into this robot. It was supposed to look like Orby Blade, but doesn't look like it, as you can see. So, with this one, I had wedgelets on the back, so that way, or I wouldn't say wedgelets, but wedges on the back, so that way, some of the parts can, or some blades can skim off it and that, but it really doesn't help, and it didn't really work at times. So I have, all these damage counts on that, but by far, as you can see from the first and second models, this one was a better version of it. I got my first second place podium positions with this robot, and it was in mini-comps, but I do get like average, below average on the podiums, or not podiums, but in places when it comes to competitions and mini-comps and all that. But it was still a pretty good start. It definitely helped me a lot with what kind of weapons I should use, what not to use, etc. So the weapon that I have onto that third model would be the main one for the fourth model. And the fourth model, well, it looks like this. It doesn't have the wedges on the back, so it makes it more vulnerable in the back, but I do have plates on them, so that way it can take off some of that damage. And I also have added a tri-bar onto it. That way it can take on spinners and, verts. So it could take them on and just leave them into a hunking mess. The biggest weaknesses within Tenrai is basically, well, it just doesn't do well with it when it comes to control and lifters. But yeah, and it likes to get tilted on its side, and if it does that, I can't really do anything. So yeah, that can be a muck. But I'm proud of this version, and it's done really well, and I cannot wait to use it more in the future and do future versions. I apologize. Now let's go with the other robot. So the second robot, I named it Guinevere. Guinevere is a giant ass drum spinner, and what Guinevere means is white ghost, and it's also the name of my dog who we had to put down in May of 2022. So I named it after her in memory of her. So this robot has, it does have not much of a longer history than Tenrai, but yeah, it wasn't made by Boost, but I got some help, as in like 5 to 10% from Wither. So I thought for myself, what could I do, and for competition wise, and just to enter it for Bashbots, why not just make a giant ass drum spinner? And I thought it would be a good idea to use, and I thought maybe doing it after, pardon my French, the Battlebot would be a good idea. And it looks nothing like it. So the first model I have right here is the very, very first model, and I never used it for anything. I just have it there. So after that, Wither then came by and thought, what was it doing in that? We went to voice chat, and he gave me a whole bunch of advice what to do, and he did help on like 5 to 10% of the building. Everything else was made by me, and this model, this other model is the one that I used, me and Wither made together, and that's the like I said, 5 to 10% from him. So I didn't use this model for the final version because one, the fin is someone else's, and I didn't want to use it. It belonged to Mulsanne, the same person from Bashbots Season 4, that green uphead or front lifter and that. So yeah. So I improved upon it like slowly, made my own version, and then the models that you see that are right here, these last 3 versions, are the ones that currently involved into that. So let's go through the 3 versions real quick. So this wedge is the one I've used the most. It can go under people, kick ass, chew bubblegum, and all that fun stuff, and I absolutely loved it. Or I still absolutely love it. So it's my main default thing to use, and I like it. And I also have, for this version, I also have wheel guard, so that way it'll protect my wheels against verts and horizontals and all that stuff. So the second one is another fork version, wedge version, that is inspired by deadlift. Wither made these. I got permission to use them, and they do work really, really well. They can get under people, and I can just literally hit them with my drum in that, and it works pretty well. And I think of it as the main 2 robots that I'm going to be using with the Guinevere. The third one, well, I haven't really used, and it was just for a last minute decision and all that. So with Guinevere, the weakness is, I would say, 1, the exposed wheels, and 2, this thing can be a pain in the ass to self-right. I mean, it's just one of those things. And I'm hoping for Guinevere to get into Bashbots. Well, qualify, all that fun stuff. I have to do all that first in order to get into the main competition. Some people question it, and I understand why, because of it being another vert. So yeah, these are the robots that I am going to be using for Bashbot Season 5, or at least try to, or get into, or I can be optimistic, can I? So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and be sure to look at my Facebook page down below. Until then, Galacticstorm saying, keep charging, bitches, and have a safe holiday.